Hi, so I'm in the office today. I thought it would be um, fun and sweet to record from here because I know that this painting in my office is kind of a landmark for some of you. And also, and I think all of us, we love this space, this space that we create together. So I thought, we be a nice dedication to you to be here today. And also, I'm working, so. Um, um, This is part two of pandemic virtual therapy for my clients who I adore, and also for anyone else really who needs this. I did not get to record for you yesterday. It was a rough day. It felt like kids everywhere, or at least my kid. Yesterday was the day when that he finally realized, like, wait a minute, this is some bullshit that we're living in. There's a park in our neighborhood that we frequent, Buster and I, and it's got a place for skateboarding and basketball, and there's a playground, and just all sorts of great kid stuff. And we can actually see the park from our living room windows. Yesterday morning we walked up there to skateboard. For him to skateboard. I do not skateboard. We walked up there so he could skateboard, and the park was closed. There were signs posted by the local police saying that the park was closed per the governor's orders, and that was rough. While I understand the rationale, or at least I think I do, um, it was sad, and it was really hard to explain to a little guy. Um, so we had a rough day yesterday, and it would not have been funny to to watch that recording. Educational, but not funny. So, but today's a new day, and here we are, and I got so many wonderful messages from all of you the last 2 days about values, and it just so inspired me. One of my favorite things that happened yesterday is I got to finally FaceTime with a client who has been in quarantine for, I don't know, 3 weeks, four. She's been ill, and the origin is uncertain. So she quarantined herself, even from her family, and so we finally got to FaceTime after not having seen each other for 3 weeks, and that was really, really sweet and beautiful. And um, she really gave me the inspiration for what I want to talk about today, and that is this idea of returning to normal. I think, like a lot of us are asking ourselves, when, right? When will we return to normal, and what will normal look like? Um, and so I think that's a conversation worth having. I think it's goes without saying, probably for most of you, that this virus is a teacher to us. This it's There are many opportunities here for us to learn as we journey through this together. Um, I mean, it definitely sucks, right? But still, as in all things, there are opportunities for learning. And for me, one of the things I'm seeing about myself is this different pace that I'm in. Um, that I am definitely moving through the world, um, at a different speed these days. Um, I think we're also all experiencing um, silence in a new way, or quiet, right? That the world is quieter than it's been in a while. Many of us are being called more to spend more time outside, which I think, of course, is beautiful, because the outside is my church. So as she and I were talking about returning to normal, it got me thinking, and I said to her, and I want to say to all of you, I want to lay this question at your feet. What if we don't return to normal? What if you and I just decide we won't go back to that place that we were before COVID? Not that there weren't and aren't beautiful things about our lives before COVID, but what if this is a calling and an invitation to us to to live life at a different pace, to enjoy the silence more than ever before, to to be outside. And I mean, so many ways, right? That I think we are having to adapt our lives for this, and perhaps there are some things about our old ways of living that needed to be surrendered. Um, I think that it's also sort of a beautiful synchronicity that this is all happening during the Lenten season. I don't know enough of the Lenten language to really speak about it intelligently, but I do know that it has something to do with surrendering. And so I want to read you something from one of my favorite authors. His name is Parker Palmer, and he's my favorite author. He's my favorite teacher. He's my favorite Quaker. But he's got a book called The Hidden Wholeness, and it's a book I've loved for a really long time. And there's a chapter in there in his book called Into the Wilderness. And so I want to read it to you, and then talk about it perhaps as a metaphor for how we can go forward. So I can't see that. Hold on. Hold. Okay. So this is uh, chapter one, I think, of Hidden Wholeness by Parker Palmer, and it's called Into the Wilderness. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. Don't worry, just a little bit. Thomas Merton wrote, "There is in all things a hidden wholeness. I yearn to be whole, but dividedness often seems the easier choice. A still, small voice speaks the truth about me, my work, or the world. I hear it and yet act as if I did not. I withhold a personal gift that might serve a good end, or commit myself to a project that I do not really believe in. I keep silent on an issue I should address, or actively break faith with one of my own convictions. I deny my inner darkness, giving it more power over me, or I project it onto other people, creating enemies where none exist. I pay a steep price when I live a divided life, feeling fraudulent, anxious about being found out, and depressed by the fact that I am denying my own selfhood. The people around me pay a price as well, for now they walk on ground made unstable by my dividedness. How can I affirm another's identity when I deny my own? How can I trust another's integrity when I defy my own? A fault line runs down the middle of my life, and whenever it cracks open, divorcing my words and actions from the truth I hold within, things around me get shaky and start to fall apart. But in the wilderness, I sense the wholeness hidden in all things. It is in the taste of wild berries, the scent of sun-baked pine, the sight of the northern lights, the sound of water lapping the shore, signs of a bedrock integrity that is eternal and beyond all doubt. And when I return to a human world that is transient and riddled with disbelief, I have new eyes for the wholeness hidden in me and my kind, and a new heart for loving even our imperfections. So, I mean, I think there are this time in our lives right now is riddled with metaphor, but I love this idea of here in the human world I live this divided life that's on shaky ground, but when I go into the wilderness I'm reminded of the hidden wholeness of all things, and when I return from the wilderness back to the human world I have new eyes. He says, let me just read it again. He says, and when I return to a human world that is transient and riddled with belief, I have new eyes for the wholeness hidden in me and my kind, and a new heart for loving even our imperfections. So here's my challenge to you, all my lovely clients, and anyone else watching this video. Let's return to the human world with new eyes, and let's maybe think about what parts of this old way of living, this pre-COVID life, do we want to surrender? Do we need to surrender? Can we surrender? And can we come back, whatever that is, to the human world, or to the post-COVID world with a new set of eyes and an open heart? And what if we don't go back to the way things were? I know for me, as I said, I'm experiencing my life at a different pace, at a different noise level, with a different commitment to generosity and patience. Certainly a stronger appreciation for connection and human beings. Like I'm delighted every day to see my mailman. And too, the other thing I think I want to bring back with me, or pull along with me out of this wilderness, is bravery. I do sense a bravery in me that has not been there before. I would never have done this, for example, before COVID. So perhaps this is an invitation, and I am extending an invitation to all of you. What if we don't go back to the way things were, but we co-create something new with our new eyes and our new hearts, and new commitments? So, as always, I'm thinking about all of you so much, and I'm loving to hear from you, and I'm here. So reach out if I can be of service to you. I'm going to try again tomorrow, but we shall see how it goes. And I know some of you are like super disappointed not to see Buster today, but don't worry, he will be back tomorrow for sure. Okay, love you. Bye.